Hi, class. The American diet is said to be energy rich but nutritionally poor. So the question comes up, what is good nutrition? In this class, we will talk about the concept of nutrient density and calorie density and how we can use these two terms to compare food. So what does good nutrition mean to you? Does it mean that you have less sugary desserts, that you have a diet that's more fruits and vegetables, a diet that's free of additives? I know if I were to ask everybody in this class, everybody would come up with a different answer, a different question to what exactly good nutrition means to you. And if this were a live class, I'd be doing that. But unfortunately, we're online and you can't. Maybe if we have a synchronous discussion, we could have a chat about this and do a poll, but that will be for another day, not the session. So think about your diet in a form of an analogy to growing a beautiful garden. You want the foods in your life that will allow you to be healthy, to have a balanced lifestyle, and to promote energy. So before you can have a healthy garden or a healthy diet, you have to clear away the debris, the rocks, and the weeds. And you have to clear away the things that are holding you back, such as the fats, the soda, the salty diet, the processed foods, in order to give yourself the ability to see the beautiful garden that's in there. So similarly, in our diets, we have to kind of eliminate or wipe clean, or shall we say, minimize the kinds of weeds and debris that are in our diets, such as processed foods, fats, and salts. So how do we judge the goodness of food? Well, nutrient density is one of the major parameters that we'll look at in this particular lecture. Other things are controls of energy balance, health, body composition, and also quantitatively, we want to be able to measure whatever it is that we put into our bodies, so outcome-based. Nutrient-dense foods, think about it as hardwood versus softwood. Hardwood are your nutrient-dense foods. These are the foods that will allow your body to burn stronger, hotter, and cleaner per 100 calories of whatever that you eat, versus your softwoods, which are your nutrient poor foods, which are your junk foods, your overprocessed foods, your foods that are full of calories, grease and salty, that are full of preservatives and that are chemically filled. So nutrient density is the concept of the ratio of the vitamins and minerals and fiber relative to the total calorie content of a food. So you have a lot of nutrients, but not a lot of calories for a given quantity of food. So fruits and vegetables, the more you increase that, the more you're going to have of your vitamins and minerals and your phytonutrients versus your fiber grains, which have not so much of the fiber, the vitamins, and the minerals. So high versus low nutrition density. So high nutrition density would mean that those foods contain a large amount of key ingredients, such as the protein, the zinc, and the iron per 100 calories of food, as opposed to your French fries and steak, which have a little bit of protein, but not too much else in terms of fiber and iron and zinc and all those other vitamins and minerals that we like to talk about. Along the lines, on the other hand, of calorie density. Calorie density refers to the ratio of calories to the actual weight of the food. So say you have 1,300 calories of burgers and fries versus 1,300 calories of apples. It's the foods that have the lower amount of water or fiber and the higher amount of fat that tend to be higher in calorie density. So for example, the rules of calorie density are that if you have nice green leafy vegetables, for example, they are higher in water, lower in fat, and lower in energy delivery in comparison to things like steak, which are lower in water, higher in fat, and higher in energy. So key nutrients found in 100 calories of sample foods. For example, spinach has a lot of nutrients. It's a high amount of protein, amount of fiber, iron, zinc, thiamine. Across the board, it is very nutrient dense. Versus something like lean beef, which has only a little bit of protein, bagels, which don't have much of anything, and soda, which has pretty much nothing. So if you think about the most nutrient-dense foods, kale would be up there, so would spinach, so would arugula, cabbage. Less dense, but still good for you, is broccoli, carrots, cauliflower, etc. Not to say that these over here are worse, it's just that you're getting more nutrients per 100 calories of food. So what are the benefits of a high nutrient density versus a low caloric density food diet? Well, you're taking in higher amounts of total essential nutrient intake per quantity of food that you're taking in. So more nutrients per volume of food. It's easier to control your calorie without calorie counting. And you feel more satiated for after meals because of the high fiber content in these foods. And so it makes it a little more difficult to overeat. Low versus high density nutrients. The low density nutrient foods are things like white flour, table sugar, ice cream, soda, very processed, soft drinks, not much vitamins and minerals. Versus high nutrient density foods are deeply colored vegetables, your bright vegetables, your fruits, your high fiber and lean meats. So what is the relationship between calories and nutrient density? So the foods that are higher in fiber and water tend to have higher nutrient densities and lower calorie densities, okay? So what's the best combination for a healthy lifestyle and improving your health? Research shows that high in nutrient density foods and low in calorie dense foods tend to, without calorie counting, tend to give you the best combination. So in summary, foods that are high in nutrients but relatively low in calories, have a high amount of fiber, are good for you. The nutrient-dense foods contain the vitamins, the minerals, the complex carbohydrates, and the lean proteins and the healthy fats that you need to include in your diet. Example of nutrient-dense foods include the fruits and vegetables, whole grains, low-fat and fat-free milk products, seafood, lean meats, eggs, peas, beans, and nuts. Now, it's not just about increasing your vegetable intake that counts. It's the kinds of vegetables that you eat, too. So think about asparagus, kale, spinach, broccoli, and cauliflower. So after this lecture, feel free to go on Quizlet. I've provided the link to review the terms of this presentation. And feel free to email me with any questions you may have in your readings or on the presentation. And I will also have some study guides and outlines for you posted under the course management software system. So have a great day, and thank you for joining in. Appreciate you listening.